Call the City of Richmond's meeting to order.
The date.
July 1st, 2015. Everybody please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everybody tonight. If you have an electronic device, please put it on silent or vibrate so we don't have no interruptions. First item up would be approval of the agenda for this evening.
Any other additions?
Not to the corrected agenda, I have not.
Okay. Make a motion to approve. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Approval of the meeting minutes of June 3rd and June 18th, 2015. Is there any questions or comments? Or corrections?
Any make a move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Approval of bills to be paid. Is there any questions on anything that anybody's seen?
I'll make that motion. Accept the bills.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Consent agenda for this evening, Resolution 145-15, approval of June 2015 journal entries. Item B is Resolution 146-15, acceptance of June 2015 donations. And item C is acknowledgement of People Services June 2015 written report.
Did you want to acknowledge who the donation was from? Sorry.
The donation that's in question comes from Central Minnesota Community Foundation for Music in the Park.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. We'll move on to department reports for this evening. First up will be Kevin Mooney.
Mayor, council, distinguished audience, especially you, Jesse.
Thank you.
I'll just give a little recap or a little synopsis of what's going on in parks, what we've done recently, and what we've got coming up. We're right in the middle of the baseball and soccer season that both kind of come to an end at the same time at the end of July. Things are going pretty good. Our teams are, the number of teams we have are down a little bit. It seems like participation in Little League Baseball is kind of on a lull right now. Why that is, many factors and many different opinions. So, but the teams are doing really well. I guess our two major league teams are doing quite well, and the minors are having a really good time. The Richmond Rattlers minor league team was 2-0 last week, and I think a lot of that has to do with coaching. So just want to add that, put that in there. For the month of July, we have two Music in the Park concerts. One coming up on, obviously we're part of the 125th celebration of the City of Richmond. We're going to have the Everett Smithson Band. They are provided to us by the Great River Library System. So that should be a really good one. That's pie eating contest, that kind of stuff. And then on July 28th, we have Gig Noonan playing out there. Last night we had a really good concert last night. It was a very nice event. The park was packed. The ceremony that the Legion put on and helped, and Max and Deb helped to orchestrate was really good. It really was. They did a 21-gun salute for fallen soldiers, and you know, it really made me appreciate how many talented people we have in our community. You know, Gary Brinkman did taps, and he did it wonderfully, and we have some really talented, musically talented people in our community, and just kudos to all of them. The Girl Scouts just completed a flower garden up on the trail near Lakes Gas. We assisted them in the whole process and all the way through, and we finished that up today by putting the mulch down on it. If you get an opportunity, go take a look at it. Many different varieties of flowers. It's a work in progress. They will add to it and subtract from it as it goes along. We have agreed that to take care of the watering of it. So, you know, of the things that we supplied, I'd like to say thank you to Kurt Wenner, who donated all the edging around the garden for the Girl Scouts. We provided the landscaping tarp and the staples and basically all the substructure stuff for the garden. And then really financially, the only thing we provided was the mulch that went over the top of it. The girls, the troop paid for the flowers and all the other stuff. So it's really pretty nice. We get a sign up there by the garden and called Girl Scout Garden, and that's their project. And they've kind of taken some ownership of the trail. They do a spring and fall trail cleaning, trail pickup. So that seems to be a pet project of theirs, and that's really nice. Right now, with all the great summer rains, grass cutting and trimming and weeds and everything else occupies about half of our work week. Between myself and Tom, probably about 2.5 days of the week going towards that. So that's where we spend the bulk of our time, is just keeping Mother Nature at bay. Canoe Park is very plush, and we go down there and knock him back every now and then. Down on the trails down there. We do have an Eagle Scout project that's coming in. He's got his paperwork completed. He wants to put a granite park bench at our playground at Centennial Park. We have a slab of concrete already in place that we put in years ago for just such a thing. So we're working with him and monitoring that process as it goes along. He's just in the paperwork stage right now. It. We'll do some arena stuff here. A week ago we had a really busy time down at the arena. We had the bank dinner on Thursday night, immediately followed by the Relay for Life on Friday night. Those are two super events. Community really comes out for both of those, and they were really nice. The Relay, I think, might be one of the best events that we host every year. You can't go wrong. The tributes and the amount of money that they raise and the stories that you hear from the Relay for Life, pretty heart-wrenching stuff. Very meaningful event that we get to host here in Richmond. And thanks to the fire department and the police department for helping out with the 5K run on Friday night. I think that run brings in like $3,000, so that's almost 10% of their take that night is from the run. So thanks to the Richmond Fire Department for helping out with that. Speaking of runs, the next real event that the arena will take part in is the River Lakes Day 5, 10, 1K fun run, the whole kit and caboodle. We are the start and the finish line. We're the registration site. It's pretty active and busy up there that Saturday morning. So that's the next big bad boy down at the arena for us. The other thing that we've been going over around and around for the last few years on what to do with that ceiling down there. We're just gonna Marty and myself and some industry experts that we've talked to. We're just going to lay low this year. We're going to use it as a study period this ice season. We'll invite companies and experts to come in during the course of the season, see what our issues are, and I hope they can help us come to a solution to our situation. So, and then we'll figure out how to attack it. Marty had the opportunity to call a city pretty similar to Richmond, Benson. They have an arena with a condensation issue as well, and when he heard the price tag of taking care of their issues, I think I had to throw water on his face to wake him back up. But yeah, a little different situation, different building, but similar issues. So we're really going to take some time here this ice season and examine it as close as we possibly can. We're getting a lot of different information. So As far as the arena and this upcoming season, we have the boys and girls high school schedule completed. It seems weird that it's July that we have to do that, but we do. Looks like we're going to host somewhere between 12 and 15 games this year, which is a few more than we did last year. They're just on a cycle. Some years they have more home games, and some years they have less. This is one of the years where they have more home games. So, and that's probably the best stuff we do down there is the high school home games. And the youth hockey tournaments are set. So we've got those weekends taken care of. So we've got it'll start to grow as we move along. The last thing I'll talk about is the Ricori Trail. An appraiser has been hired to evaluate and put a value on the trail, on the rail corridor. It should be completed sometime during August. I spoke with the appraiser, and he's ahead of schedule because something else fell off of his plate. So we should be looking by the end of August actually having a value placed on the rail corridor, and then we can go and sit down with negotiations with BNSF to see about purchasing that corridor. And then once that happens, we're all pretty confident, right, Tim? And
Yes.
that it's going to eat up every dime we have. So at that time, we're going to have to locate funds for construction. And we've gotten verbals, kind of, winks, saying, you get the corridor, you'll get your money from the state, the feds, the DNR. So we get the corridor. I think it's if you build it, they will come. Well, if you buy it, the money will be provided. So
We have some already, people know that we already have some already on the.
yeah, we've got the money to buy the darn thing. We just need to get the money. But the assurances have been placed out there by some pretty fine people. So that's about all I have for a report right now. Questions, Councilman?
Just a clarification, that's a pie baking, not eating.
Well, yeah, it's not a pie eating contest. Did I say pie eating?
Yeah, you slipped there.
Well,
But there will be pie eating.
there will
Free
be.
of charge, with
Correct.
ice cream.
Correct.
Compliments of Marty.
Correct. Marty. No, I like the Marty point there.
Okay, the other thing
He's doing baking.
I brought to Marty and you earlier this spring about taking a look at the outside rink and cleaning it up a little bit, repairing the boards and painting it. Drove by there tonight before the meeting and it looks fabulous. It looks fantastic. It looks like it matches in like it should, rather than just kind of put out there. So that was a great job. I hope
Thank you.
did use Sentence to Serve.
We did, because it was a big project.
Yeah, so I didn't look at the inside, but the outside looks great. It looks neat, clean, well groomed, so
Thank you.
good job on that.
Anybody else have any questions or comments for Kevin?
All right, everybody have a nice Independence Day holiday, guys.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, have a nice trip, Kevin.
This time we'll move on to the fire department. Chief Steve Kosh.
Evening, everyone. Start off with calls for June. We had 6 medicals and 0 fires for the month of June. Hiring, we'd like to hire 2 new members. We're going to hire 2 new members for our department. We had 1 member who resigned and 1 member that retired for our department. So we're going to start next week, possibly getting it in the paper. We got to look over the applications from last time, so we'll go over those. And we're going to get a start on it. Takes about a month. We have it in the paper for about a month or a little better just to get some applications in there. And we're going to try to get the interviews going by this fall so we can get them into first responder classes this fall. River Lake Days. Just talk a little bit about River Lake Days. On the Friday and Saturday of River Lake Days is when the fire department has the taco and bag stand. Friday and most of Saturday we do sell the pop and water also in our stand. And then Saturday morning from 9 to 3 we have a car show up at the River Lakes, or the River Lake Day grounds up there. We have a car show from 9 to 3. After that, we will be helping with the 1, 5, 10, 10K starting at 9, controlling intersections along the route. And we usually help with that by parking trucks or taking care of Grant and some other busy intersections and control that stuff for those guys. And at dusk, we will be doing the fireworks. We usually park a bumper, grass rag, and a couple other things behind the school and watch for the sparks if anything starts on fire out there. And just take care of that stuff. Then we have all 6 of our trucks plus a couple of our boat and our trailer going through the parade routes. We got 6 members doing that. And then the last thing I do have on my agenda is that the parades. We've been doing a couple parades. We've done Eden Valley and Rockville parade so far this year. We're doing River Lake Days obviously, and we will be doing Pulse parades. And that's just a little bit of PR, and we're good to get out there with the public, show them what we got. Other than that, short report, that's all I have.
Do you have any questions for Steve? Thanks, Steve.
No,
Thanks, Steve.
good report.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
We move on to emergency management. Jesse Coleman.
Good evening, Council, Mayor, Marty. Just a quick report so far for the year of 2015. So far we ended up with 3 weather events for the storm season. The first one came a little early, April 12th, about 16:45, which is 4:45. There were reports of high winds and hail to our west. I sent out the Suburban for weather watch just west of Richmond off of Highway 23. Winds measured roughly about 50 miles an hour, pea-size hail. No reports of damage there. Second one was May 16th at 20:25. A weather warning was issued for our area. I sent out the Suburban and Civil Defense truck by 8:30, which is 20:30. Storm ended up moving northeast of Richmond, so there's no reports of weather interrupting our city for the evening. And then June 9th, about 18:16, weather warning was issued for our area. It was actually upon us 2 minutes later. So it was kind of hard to get the trucks out, but we ended up getting them out. Measured 1/2-inch size hail. The storm was very fast and short-lived, so very little damage to the city. So those were the 3 events thus far. Also, I will be out and about for the city's River and Lake Days for anything that the city needs or the public needs help with. I'll be around to monitor weather like we did in the past, and if there's anything natural that happens or whatever, just let me know one way or the other. And just a quick reminder, the civil defense tornado sirens are designed to be heard outside and not inside. And if you hear them while you're indoors, please do not go outside or close to a window to see what's going on. So they're there for your safety, and go to a safe place, shelter. And also real quick today, July 1st, first Wednesday of the month, they did the tornado sirens test like they do every month. I got a call, and I want to thank the individual that called the city and just voiced a concern that the siren by Centennial Park was not working. After the call, I did check it out, and I had dispatch reset off, and everything works good. So once again, thanks for everyone who called in. And so yeah, if you guys are wondering why the sirens went off twice, that was the reason for it. So
I know I enjoyed it.
I bet you did. Next time I'll give you some earplugs there. So, but other than that, that's all I have. If you guys have anything for me.
Any questions?
Yeah, we're still working on name tags. We've talked about those for emergency situations for city councilmen.
Updating
those. I think some of them IDs.
Yep, it's in the process.
Pat has one and Josh doesn't. Kim, do you have one?
Yes, I have one.
Jim, you still have one. I have one. So
Okay, yep, it's in the process. Yep, not a problem.
Alright, all I had.
Anybody else?
Thanks, Jesse.
All right, thank you. Have a good weekend.
You?
Just do that.
I'm just gonna give you a short public works. I know there's some sidewalks that they've been fixing on, especially the ones up by church because of River Lake Days coming, making sure that they got done. Gordy, I know, assisted, Joe Willebring with getting those done to make sure they were done. Up to the city's specs of what they wanted done. And I know he's been sweeping the streets early in the mornings. Other than that, I don't have anything. I thought he was coming tonight, but he's obviously not here, so. Those are the two things he's been working on, so.
We heard anything, sorry Pat, we heard anything on how things are going with changing over the composting area right now too?
Phenomenal.
So that's worked out a lot better now, seeing that we've separated those things a little bit, so.
Those bunkers really were great ideas. They
They
really cleaned it up.
Okay. And no complaints, because obviously the dumpsters are a little closer to the entrance right now with, if a wrong wind happens to come up from the residents that live across the street, anything happening with that at all, so we're all okay with that. All right.
It allowed him to clean it up a lot nicer. It looks a lot cleaner in there.
It does look a lot cleaner in there, no question about it, so, but, okay. I just was curious on where we were at with that, so.
Anybody else have any questions? Pat?
Just a item, we were talking about 4 or 5 meetings on the sidewalk thing, and somebody brought it to my attention why the sidewalk from 3rd Street to the trail is not completed on the city's half, which would be by the pavilion. And I would like to have that put on either to a workshop and find out, get a bid, whatever, at 100 feet from the driveway of the post office to the trail is the only sidewalk on Central Avenue, either on the east or west side, that's not completed. And it's basically our property, or the city's property, so let's look into finishing maybe that project.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, there was no sidewalk there before the Central Main Street project.
No, but there was no
not
sidewalk on the east side of the road anyway.
But it was not in the original plan, so it's
Right.
not that
So-
it's not finished. If you want a
Well,
sidewalk.
if you take a look at it, it looks not, it doesn't look
doesn't
finished.
look finished.
It's both sides, sidewalk from north to south of town, except at 100 feet, roughly 100 feet. I could be a few feet off one, but I think we should look at doing it. That way people can come off the trail, hit the east side of the road and go all the way up to past the church, or they can do it on the west side.
I'll get a quote for the council.
I'm just saying, I believe we should look at it, finish it off.
I know the other piece of conversation on that was that they were gonna tar the whole parking lot at one time. And I think it was gonna be done all at once, so that's kinda why they.
But then with that, why not have the sidewalk there anyway? For walking purposes. So I think we should look into it.
Okay.
Let's look at some prices and see
You're
what
right.
comes out. All right, anything else dealing with public works? I'm just gonna bring up the one item, you got a picture of that skid loader attachment.
Oh, yeah.
And I went and talked to Gordy on why he needed it, and he expressed that there's a few places in town where they gotta dig up the water things. And like you found out last year, when we were trying to get people to get their water hookups, they're not exactly, a backhoe isn't the easiest thing to come about, to get somebody to come in and dig. For the cost of this bucket, I mean, it would allow him to go out and they could do the fixing they need to do, and not have to hire somebody to come in and do it. I think in the long run, it would pay for them to have it, just for the sake of, when they need it, they can go dig a hole. If they're gonna plant trees, they can use this to dig the holes, put trees in, whatever.
Now, this won't dig 6 feet deep, right, Jim?
No.
This is just 2-3 feet deep, just so you
You're-
can get the curb box up.
You're probably gonna go 4 feet at the max,
Okay.
maybe 5 if you're lucky.
But aren't the curb box further than 5 feet down?
Well, they're down at water main level, but the top section that comes apart that they can replace, apparently is a couple feet below surface.
Yep. They had their.
Because that whole stem just sits on top of the valve.
Right.
On the older ones, on the newer ones, I'm not quite sure, like a Main Street.
Yeah.
Because that took a different wrench.
I mean, obviously that comes up later in our meeting to approve buying that or not, so I'm just gonna bring it up under that for discussion. If there's no more discussion, we'll move on. Council report for this evening, EDA, Mike and Pat.
Well, the EDA had a meeting last week, And we had our 4th solar company come and give us a presentation. And I think everybody can agree that all the different solar companies are kind of all over the board, what they do and what they don't do. Some are just in installation, some are in financing, installation, the whole works. So right now we've got all the reports. We'll probably be putting them together at the next meeting, which will possibly be in August. I think we're going to skip July unless we want the BR&E report. But as of right now, we're looking for different areas of land that could be useful for that, and see what happens. That's kind of with the solar project going. We also received back information on public access from the county with one drawing. We haven't got back to them on any update or any conversation yet, but we will be. It's going to be longer than a person anticipates and something like that, if it's even possible. We did not get a report on our BRE project due to the member that was going to do that. Had a conflict with the meeting night, but we hope to have that as soon as possible. That same member received a grant to go to the Duluth EDA conference free of charge. The tuition was free of charge, so she applied for that and received that scholarship for the tuition there. So that's great news for the EDA. Anything else, Mike?
No, I think you hit it.
Basically, those are the topics that we had. Like I mentioned, unless necessary, I think we're going to skip the July meeting and go into the, it would be the 4th Tuesday, correct?
Yes.
Of August right now. None of this stuff is really pressing, but it would be nice to have the information on the BRE project for the simple reason that some of those projects are being looked at to start, and we didn't even have the report of the thing yet. So it'd be kind of nice to have that before that would start. That's all.
You did miss one, Pat. June 26th, you had a grand opening or a groundbreaking ceremony.
Yes, we did. Well, everybody had that, I guess.
Yep.
So yeah, the city had representatives from the EDA, the community, the city workers, the city council, realtors, everybody was the groundbreaking of the A&W. I'm thinking gas for some reason. That's because my company sells dad root beer, but that's fine. But of the A&W on the east end of town, and I haven't driven by there tonight, so I don't know if it has proceeded any further, digging anything else. So that's ready to roll. I'm sure it's very possibly going to be up by fall. You know, it doesn't take them long once they have a print. You know.
I spoke with the architect today, and they're hoping to close on financing by end of next week. Okay. They're just waiting for the land appraisal.
Okay.
Anybody have any questions for Pat or Mike for the EDA? No, we'll move on to Planning Commission. Josh and Tim.
Planning Commission, we had our meeting last Thursday, June 25th. We only had 3 members, so we didn't take any action on anything, but we discussed a little bit on trying to get people the people we were looking to annex in, trying to get them willingly to annex. Just discussed some options of what we would like to offer them. And then the only 2 other things that were brought up was there's a property north of 2nd Street who's looking to possibly build a shed, but he does not have a residence on it, so he's possibly looking into a variance on that. And the other thing was 2011, or a survey that was done south of the stoplights, looking at businesses if they would like to come in a certain period of time, and looking at revisiting the survey or redistributing it. Other than that, our next meeting is July 23rd at 6 p.m. at City Hall.
Anybody have any questions for Josh?
If not, we're gonna skip C. I think Kevin gave pretty much a report on the Parks and Trail. Tri-City Cable, next meeting is July 22nd at 5 p.m. at the Media Center in Cold Spring at Ricori. And we have not had a meeting in 3 months, so it's pretty much the same. We'll move on to the 125th city anniversary. Is
And River Lake Days.
Mr. Mayor, I would like to call it a birthday rather than an anniversary for the simple reason is we're just starting out in Richmond. Even though we're 125 years incorporated, we're just taking off. So with that, the plans of that whole week are basically set up pretty much right now. The posters have been out, the brochures have been out, the t-shirts are out, they're all for sale. The buttons are there, and just a little bit of plug about the buttons. The button pays for the whole celebration. That's what carries the cost of it. Yes, they are $4 a piece, but I guess when you take a look at some other entertainment in the area, that is pretty reasonable for a week of entertainment. And plus you'll be eligible to win some door prizes or some raffle prizes, whichever one the numbers on them are worth some money. So please support the River Lake Days, which is along with the city sponsoring this almost week-long activity this year. So we have a lot for families. I mean, it's loaded for a family activity. I just spoke to some of the other chairmen this evening earlier about the draft horses that are coming in on a Thursday out at the park. It's looking phenomenal. It's going to be a big deal. Those horses are huge. 10 teams coming in. They're going to put on a pretty big display. Not ever going to a draft horse show before, just seeing draft horse parades and different things. It's just impressive how meek and mild they are, but how powerful they can be. So, a little plug to Marty and Cindy's pie judging contest. Please get your applications in here and start baking. We got 3-4 different kinds of categories to make sure that everybody is there and well represented to the age groups. And now Kevin brought up there's going to be a pie eating, and there will be. There will be free pie and ice cream that evening while you enjoy the music in the park. The Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night activities, you do not need a button, but we would appreciate if you would help sponsor it by having one purchased for that. So bring your kids, bring everybody out, relatives, to see all these activities. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of quick action. When I say that is, it'll be moving all the time. We'll be out at the park, then we'll be out at the river station for the history night on Wednesday. Thursday we're back out at the park, and then Friday and Saturday, and then wrapping it up on Sunday is going to be phenomenal by the time we get done here. Just remember, we have one of the largest fireworks shows in central Minnesota, and you can almost sit underneath it. We have the clearance from the state and from the fire department of what that is needed according to code, and it can be seen for quite a lot of areas. So all I've got to say is I'm inviting everybody to come out and have a great time, and then that, please have patience because we expect a lot of people in town, which is going to be great for everyone. Along with that, there will be a news crew in town from Channel 4, back to the lake type of people. They're going to be doing some interviewing and some different visitations of businesses and tours of the lake and different things like this too. So we will be getting a lot of press and a lot of people coming in and enjoying it. So if everybody has a little patience, everybody will have a great time. So, Mr. Mayor and Council, anything else you would like to know about that I missed? I don't have a brochure in front of me, but I kind of went by, after working on this for about 9 months, it kind of comes pretty easy. So
Parade time is at what time?
The parade is at 7.
7.
So, yeah. So that, and then the activities are at 7 and Friday night also. So the stage show there. The Wild West show is at approximately 8:30, which is an hour and a half after the stage show. But like I say, it's going to be a great weekend for children, families. Come on back to Richmond, enjoy the relatives, enjoy the different types of entertainment, and take everybody back 125 years. So with that, thank you very much, and basically that's a combined River Lake Days 125th anniversary report.
Thanks, Pat.
Okay.
Thanks, Pat. You bet.
On that
seeing our public works director is showing up on time now, so. Gordy, if you wanna come up, we did talk a little bit about fixing the sidewalk already at church.
Okay.
Sweeping the streets, and they had some questions about your dumpsters. We kinda chit chat a little bit about it,
Okay.
so just so you can take it from there.
Okay, compost, you're talking about the compost out at the shop. They're working well. They really look good out there. Soon as the one compost is full, what we'll do is try hauling it away right away, so keep it within those boundaries. So we've been doing that. Looks really well out there. The sidewalk over by church has been fixed prior to River Lake days. Some of the things that we've been doing, Marty, did you talk a little bit about this Glendon? That was at $5,000 for seal coated crack sealing?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Glendon Company out of Belgrade is the one that we awarded that bid to through Cold Spring, Rockville, Richmond, and St. Martin. So they'll be coming to town. Don't know exactly when, but they're going to be doing that crack filling on that. County Road 9, the county has been talking about seal coating that from First Street south down to Casey's, and also from Main Street up to County Road 42, which is over there by the power station. I don't know when that's going to happen. I called today and I left a message and they didn't return the call yet, so I'm hoping it isn't going to happen within 3 weeks. Hopefully do it after that. Of course, we're all getting ready for this River Lake Day stuff. Game plan is painting streets next week. This is going to be in the evening, so I'll be out there doing that stuff in the evening. Less traffic and less tracking. So so far we've been sweeping streets, painting hydrants, doing all that stuff. But that's about what we kind of like got going on right now.
They have any questions for Gordy?
So Kevin is going to be on vacation next week, so Poncho's going to be helping me out a little bit. So after next week, it's going to be all River Lake Day stuff. So.
Pat, you have a question?
Just a comment kind of with that, and I guess more with emergency management, is that I emailed Marty today, and we were making a cheat sheet up of all the emergency numbers, cell phone numbers for River Lake Days and the 125th celebration. So everybody will receive a copy of everything from the fire, the police, the street department, the emergency management, the chairman, the parade committee, and all the stands up there. Everybody will have cell phone numbers to contact those. And then Marty is on there too, to make sure if there's anything that does go on, such as weather, that those are the 12 numbers or whatever that would either meet, decide, or that to evacuate. So you will be receiving that by Monday night. It was worked on earlier in this week, and I added a few numbers that I thought should be on there tonight. So if you wonder who got your cell phone numbers, well, Marty gave them to me. So. Blame Marty.
All right.
Anything else?
Anybody else have any questions for Gordy?
No.
Thanks, Gordy.
Thanks, Gordy.
Moving on to item number 9 tonight, request for council action. On your packet, Gordy just brought up about the crack sealing for $5,000 through the Glendon Company out of Belgrade. That'd be one that would be added to that purchase requisitions. And the other one, we had a little discussion about the skid loader attachment. I'm still gonna let that open if you guys want to discuss that a little more or not.
I guess the only question is, I don't have a problem buying a piece of equipment, but what's the liability if we start digging in different roadways?
We're not going to dig in anybody else's right away. It'll be our own right away.
It's our stuff.
So do you want to
Yes, please.
We needed action on the.
One motion for both of them.
For both of them?
I guess I got, Gordy, that skid loader attachment, I mean, you would be the expert. Is it something that you believe is beneficial to have?
What I did is I went and I got a price on that. Mears Repair and Farming is one that designed that and built the one for another customer. I was asking for it for the simple reason we got a lot of gate valves in the middle of the streets. that are breaking. What I gotta do is I gotta saw cut those out and dig down about 2 feet, nip it off, and put an extension on there and fix those and then cement them in. It's all handwork, and with a machine like that we can just dig right alongside. It's about an 18-inch wide bucket. So we can go down about 2 feet, dig that all out, clean it all up, put a new extension on it, put a cap on top of it, and cement them in. So that's what we're gonna be using the machine for. We got about 4 or 5 of them that for sure has to be done before fall, because I've been hitting them with the plow truck. We got to fix them. And then we've got a little project over at a water treatment plant running a small line in for backwash. So we're getting prices on that, and we thought we could do it ourselves. So that was the reason for that.
We actually that one, but that
Yeah,
one there.
that's the next one.
Does that answer your question, Josh?
Yep. Any other discussion on the 2 items, the crack sealing and the crack sealing? Wouldn't, Gordy, that crack sealing, they wouldn't be coming in over River Lake days, would they?
I didn't get no word from them at all when they're coming in. I don't believe that they would be in here. And if they are going to be, we really don't have nothing really downtown. It's going to be the outskirts more so. The arena parking lot will be hit, but otherwise it's going to be outside of the perimeter of the River Lake Day stuff.
I just don't think we want more.
Even
into-
with the garage sales, I mean, people are all over.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna try keeping them out, but like I say, that's only, I don't know exactly when they get here.
We can stipulate not that.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's in here. There's no other question. Somebody wanna,
I'll make a motion to 5,000 for crack sealing and 1,036 for the backhoe. Attachment.
I'll second that.
any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. I just have that. Resolution 147-15, tax exempt lawful gambling permit for Catholic United. I was looking for this actually.
That's on your table. That was on your
That's
table.
where it was.
Catholic United
It just came in
Financial
today.
Council.
Yep.
I make a motion to approve.
I'll accept that.
And that's for August 30th at St. Peter and Paul Parish Center. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Moving on. Other matters of concern for this evening, letter of support for Ricori Trail.
That was on your table.
That was on the table also. Just a letter of support, more or less. I think that was more or less information, correct?
Right.
And then the Minnesota Department of Health is verifying that our water system is working properly. Correct.
From the 2013 Main Street project.
And everything from our last project, everything. And the other item is on Friday, July 3rd, City Hall will be closed. That is the July 4th holiday. Okay, now is there anything else anybody wants to add for this evening? Hope everybody has a safe 4th, and we'll hopefully show up at River Lake Days and spend a week in Richmond. Invite your friends and relatives. And
It'll be fun. It'll be fast and fun. I understand that just by rumor that the historical night, someone said they have over 40 wedding dresses to be on display from 50, 60, 80 years ago. So just that alone and uniforms and thing would be kind of interesting to see.
Okay.
That's it, Mr. Mayor.
Anybody else have anything?
Thanks for coming.